Hey everybody, this is John for Arena Nexus MTG, coming at you with another Mono Green Explorer video. As a friendly reminder, if you do like these arena-based Pioneer Near formats in Explorer, please consider subscribing to the channel, giving us a thumbs up, leaving a constructive comment down below. Now, Rakdos continues to be the most dominant deck in the overall Pioneer/Explorer format. Not as much in best of one. It's still, don't get me wrong, it's still a presence in the best of one format, but it's a little bit harder to line up your answers against threats, especially in a best of one format. Now, while Rakdos has a lot of good tools and can beat decks like Blue-White Control and any type of aggressive deck, it often gets better in the post-board games, whereas more linear-based decks tend to be better in the best of one formats overall. So that said, trying out Mono Green in best of one is not necessarily the best representative of things, but allows you to get in some quick games and kind of get a feel for how the deck feels against other things. One thing I like about playing best of one is you see a lot more of Mono Green's weaknesses, which are aggressive decks, and I wanted to try out a new piece of tech that kind of popped up some recently in the Pioneer format overall, and that is moving Skysovereign Consul's Flagship into the main deck. It's kind of helps shore up some of your aggressive matchups while giving you a little bit more sideboard space, especially in best of one where it's a little bit necessary. Beyond that, obviously you're playing a deck that does not have access to Nkythos Shrine to Nyx in the Explorer format, but this deck is still capable of some incredibly powerful starts with both of the one-drop elves as well as two different 2-mana accelerators and Kiora. You have the power of Old Growth Troll and Cavalier of Thorns helping us stabilize the board, the toolbox of Karn that we'll get to in a second, Skysovereign in the main, 3 copies of Nissa to help provide a mana boost that's missing with Nkythos, and 3 copies of Storm the Vestival as kind of your go over the top, kind of finish off the game, especially against decks like Rakdos Midrange. Lane base, nothing too fancy. Bonders Enclave is a card that you'll see played instead of Nkythos a little bit because of the ability to draw cards with your Old Growth Trolls, Cavalier of Thorns, and potentially Skysovereigns. Lair of Hydra, able to help close out the game. Castle Garenbrig as kind of a mana booster for your creatures, and one of copy of Boseiju can help blow up artifacts, help you buy a turn against the Greasefang decks, etc. Sideboard bullets, we switched up a little bit from last time. Tormod's Crypt is still present because graveyard decks, especially, Greasefang's a thing. Shadow Spear to help out against the aggressive decks in addition to the 3rd copy of Skysovereign. Medium Golem when you just need a catch-all against Planeswalkers or any other type of permanents. Golos when you need another mana sink. Nyx Lotus is your closest thing to actual Nkythos Shrine to Nyx, and then Unlicensed Hearse also against graveyard decks and for value graveyard decks like Rakdos Sac, etc. So that said, let's get into some best of one matches and see how our changes fare in the current Explorer Dominator United meta. Alright, taking a look at our hand for this game, we are on the draw. Still a very powerful mana opening start along with Old Growth Troll to kind of stabilize. Storm the Festival at the top end should we get the game go that long. And okay, looks like we might get Rakdos right off the bat, which is both good and bad. Could still be something like Mardu Greasefang or something else, but it looks like we are up against. Yep. It's going to go with the safe, basically unkillable play here of Wolfwillow Haven. It's obviously not unbeatable, but Liliana the Veil. Uptick, what are we pitching? I think we might just be pitching the Mana Dork, which comes back to bite us a little bit here. I think we're just going to uptick Karn. We don't have too many effects, especially an Explorer here that can kill it 1 for 1. I think I'm pitching Old Growth Troll. Okay, Fables, kind of whatever. Really like this combination of cards, so I still need to protect Karn. So, but I do guess either of these kind of get us there, so maybe we pitch. I don't know, this is actually kind of tough. Next turn we're going with Skysovereign if we can grab it. So I guess Nissa, because we really don't want to blow up our lands. 1, 2, 3. I do this. Question is, what do I grab here? Guess we grab the boat and pray. Opponent pitches Sheoldred and Bloodtithe Harvester. Okay, so maybe they have another Sheoldred, or they're just going to cast Bone Crusher Giant. It's going to grab Hearse here. Immediately eat Kroxa and Sheoldred in case they have K command. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have put it on this land. Okay. Lyanna's kind of annoying, but also kind of whatever. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Point. Okay. This is crew 3. Okay. Sure. A good chance of hitting a creature that can crew this, or a Karn. Cavalier. Cavalier. And our opponent scoops. Nice example of how, even when we play a Rakdos style game with Rakdos, we're still able to come out on top. Alright, here looking at another solid opening hand. Double Paradise Druid, Wolfwillow Haven, Cavalier of Thorns. I think we leave on Paradise Druid. Looks like we might be paired up against Rakdos again. Yep, so they get to take our Cavalier of Thorns here, or they might take Old Growth Troll. It's a tough one. Because this can come down next turn. Paradise Druid. Tomato, tomato there. So this is kind of maximizing our hand, getting the mana into play. Opponent goes, what, Liliana, Fables, whatever. Kind of get to mill over a bunch of cards we didn't want to draw anyway. Now we're set up for powerful cards like Storm the Festival, Skysovereign, etc. So I pitched a land and a Liliana. Okay. Looks like they have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shieldred. Alright, so our opponent scooped to a Karn. It's like, you don't even know what our options are. Goodbye. Seems a little bit slow on the draw without having a 1-drop elf, but still fine overall. We have an okay payoff and then a bunch of ramps, so. Okay, looks like we're up against Sack. Yep. I guess to start draining us out a little bit, which is really annoying. That goes for Croxa, which we can just pitch a land here. Like, do I want the extra food, or do I want to be able to sack my cat? Let's take up Karn here. Opponent's probably going to steal. Yep, steal that. Attack for 3. But do they have a way to sacrifice it? Yeah, village rights? Nope, just fatal push, sure. Turn this into a blocker, and pass turn. Opponent can't fatal push it, and they can't claim it. Feels like they have fatal push here, so I'm just going to shoot one Karn, attack the other, or shoot one Ob. Forgot to attack with that, but that's okay. Well, it does get to Kroxa here, but ironically, it doesn't matter. Let's go grab Meteor Golem. Cavalier and Old Growth Troll. Do the Cavalier thing. Put some Cavaliers in the graveyard. Draw some cards. Kind of go nuts from here. Turn this on with Old Growth Troll. And once again, yet another mid-range deck vanquished. The feeling our opponent is not very happy about this result. Salt is in the air right now. And as you can tell, that's the end of the match, and I'll see you for the next one. Alright, now this is a bit of a weird hand on the draw. We still have ramp, we still have some payoffs, so I'm inclined to keep it all. This is certainly a hand that can get run the heck over, especially against either Mono Green aggro or some type of Gruul aggro. I'm guessing this is either Elves. Okay, never mind. Some type of adventure pile. Got it. So castle into that. Okay. This is the kind of deck that could easily run us over, so. In fact, yeah, I think we're just dead next turn. This looks like it's green-black, whatchamacallit, green-black fight rigging. No blocks. Yeah, it looks like it's fight rigging. Into Valky, sure. Yup. Alright, another pretty good hand overall. Elvish Mystic and the Wolfwillow Havens. Okay, looks like we might be up against Angels, perhaps? Yep, looks like Angels. So, go ahead and do that, into that, Now, Cavalier's an okay, like, buffer, but we really need... Like, we'd love to draw Skysovereign here. Their deck can really spiral out of control quickly. Especially if they go either double 2-drop here or Righteous Valkyrie would be a nightmare. Splendid Angel is not the greatest for us. So this has the highest upside, especially if we find things that we don't. So tap that for 2. Play that. Untap it. Taps for what? 5. Play Cavalier. Yeah, that being a 4/6 is exceptionally annoying for us. Okay, Karn. This would really boost us on mana. Meteor Golem would answer the immediate problem. Skysovereign would deal with deals with Galida, which is the biggest singular problem right at the moment. Two, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 6. Let's make an indestructible land because we can. This is a matchup that I've won before, but it's extremely difficult. I've had to go over the top with, like, Nkythos into random nonsense. So mana's not really an issue. Grab Meteor Golem. And our opponent scoops. Nice. Now, obviously, you know, we joked about not running into Rakdos all the time on the best of one ladder, and then I immediately slam into double Rakdos, Rakdos Sacrifice, get beat up by green-black fight rigging, and then kind of get a little bit lucky that our opponent stumbled there a little bit with the Angels a little bit, and we were able to clean house. Obviously, this deck is very powerful. I do like the change from the other version that we ran with the 2 Sovereigns in the main. I believe the previous version was running the Hydra that allows you to either fight a creature or double its power. Overall, this is still a very powerful addition to the deck. Taking a look at the stats overall that I have with the deck, so far, there's a couple different variants of the deck, obviously. We're 4-0 against Rakdos variants. We are 3-0 against mono white, whatever humans usually 1-0 against Creativity, 1-0 against some type of Grixis pile, 1-0 against Angels. Like I said, though, I've played against other Angels piles with other different variants of the deck. Fight Ring's a bit of a issue. I didn't run against Mono Red in this particular video, but it's definitely a deck that certainly can do some things. Overall, 71% win rate, obviously 86% on the play, 57% on the draw. And this is a deck that's very much play draw dependent a little bit. But then again, most decks in Magic tend to fare a lot better when they're on the play, especially when they're running Mana Dorks and such. That said, there's a deck that can recover from a fast start from another deck. It is this deck with its ability to play Mana Dorks and such. But that said, Mono Green still continues to have the traditional issues with decks like Mono Red, decks like Mono Blue Spirits, can have a little bit of problems with Angels. There's other different aggressive decks, Mono White Human variants that sometimes get played, although they're missing one of their better cards in the Brave the Elements. Greasefang is a bit of a coin toss. You're usually relying on an early Karn to shut down their vehicles, and then torching their graveyard, with what was part of the reason why we have Tormod's Crypt and the Unlicensed Hearse in the thing, besides the aforementioned Sacrifice decks. It's nice to have kind of the 1-2 combo there. Overall, I'm very pleased with how the deck is turning out, and it's a deck that just kind of shows that even without Nykthos, this deck can still be pretty busted and still do a lot of broken, powerful things. And, maybe if Wizards is considering a ban to nuke this deck in the Pioneer format, maybe they should consider Karn instead of Nykthos. Because while Nykthos does some crazy things, I really do think Karn is kind of the linchpin of the deck. Overall, I'm very pleased with the deck, and we'll continue to be working on Mono Green a little bit more, probably getting some best of 3 content in here when we can to make it a little bit more akin to the actual Pioneer format as opposed to just best of 1 Explorer play. But, Explorer is still missing some of the key things like Lotus Field, some of the key pieces of some of the other decks, so including Mono Green. But Mono Green's faring pretty well in a format that basically has a full strength Rakdos deck, other than I think Dreadbore, and basically has a full strength blue-white control. So deck you should keep an eye on, even in a format where it's not considered a tiered deck quite yet without Nykthos.